Hey everybody, welcome to Champ Chat. Looks like there's already a big group of people in the chat waiting for us to get started. We were just having a little bit of a chat in the background, so I figured it's time to get going. And so I have my two partners in crime with me, as usual. We have the man of the hour, the man with the power. It is Patty Power.
Hello,
And
everybody.
then,
We're back.
yes, we're back. And we have, that blue bastard.
Nice entrance.
Yeah, I got to come up with something better for you. I'll come up with something.
Blue troll,
Yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah. We'll come up with something. I'll come up with something. I got to go back. See, I got all my stuff I did for Patty and the stuff I did for Ken. I got that off of like old wrestling videos from like the 70s. I can't remember that guy's name. What's his name? He kind of looked like Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan. Somebody noticed. Look at this. Aaron's background is out of control. Hey, I had to fit the wizard Patty in there somehow, and I was like, that work. This works. We got Patty the Wizard in there. Oh shoot. No. So anyway, guys, general championship talk today. I figured you guys did a show on Saturday, so um we'll you did some general chat and you went over some of the what it takes to get to the playoffs and stuff. Today, I figure we just go through the results, which we actually had a result today. If anybody was watching, had Leicester versus West Brom. Leicester won 2-1. That's got to be pressure. Uh, got to be pressure on. Oh crap, West Brom's coach. I'm blanking on his
Ryan,
name at the moment. Yeah,
Ryan Mason.
Ryan Mason. Yep. Yeah, he's got to be feeling the heat because he's already been feeling the heat. I don't know how many more they're going to let him lose before they move him on. But yeah, he's got to be feeling the heat. I guess real quick, I can check the table and see where that leaves them. So that leaves that puts West Brom. Where are they at? There we go. 18th at the moment. 18th on 31 points. 2 points ahead of Charlton. So I mean they're probably okay as far as relegation goes, but I can't imagine that's where they were planning on being at the beginning of the season, anywhere near that. So yeah, I think he's going to be feeling the heat for sure. Um, and then I get good win for Leicester. Another team where managers probably feeling the heat a little bit. Obviously, they're going to want to be performing better than what they have. We're still waiting on a points deduction for them that we are fairly confident is coming. And what's it going to be? Who knows? Uh, yeah, I don't know. Wild. Um, but anyway, guys, so let's get into the results from yesterday. Um, let's go through. We'll go through. Obviously, we'll skip ours because we'll have plenty to say about our result and your guys' result, John. But let's go back to some of the games. So QPR 3-0 over Sheffield Wednesday. No real surprises there, right? I mean, did anybody think anything different was going to happen there?
No.
No.
I don't see how you pick Sheffield Wednesday to do anything but lose the rest of the season, especially with some of the rumors. We can talk about some of that later too when we get into the transfer stuff. Sounds like they've got a few that could be leaving transfer wise, so they're going to be in trouble.
There was a
Um,
there was a snippet of information came out from a Sheffield journalist as well this evening about the takeover, which
oh,
doesn't
really?
sound it doesn't sound good either.
Oof, that's not good at all.
Yeah.
That's not good at all. Um, okay. Blackburn 2, Charlton 2. What you guys think there? I can't remember what I tipped. It doesn't surprise me if they drew though.
I
I
didn't
think I
expect
tipped
you
Charlton
to,
win.
but yeah, Charlton win. I think I went with as well.
I will say Blackburn was probably the worst team we played all season when we played them the other day. So, I think I went with a 1-0 Charlton win on that one, but yeah, I'd have to double check. But yeah, I don't know. At Blackburn, I'm not sure how they managed to score 2 goals against Charlton, because they're good at holding people to nothing. But that one, Middlesbrough. This was a game. Middlesbrough 4, Southampton 0. Honda Eckert.
Yeah.
He's gonna start getting pressure on him. I mean, good lord, they appointed him full time. It's a full. I guess it's the curse of appointing your interim manager as your full time manager. What's your guys' thoughts on that one?
That's a statement win for Middlesbrough, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
That's a proper we mean business. That is.
Yeah. I think they'd lost 4 on the bounce before that, right? Is that right?
Southampton, you mean? Yeah.
No, I was talking
No.
about Middlesbrough. I think had lost. I think they'd lost.
No.
They hadn't won in 4 or something.
Draw. They had a draw in between.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So they lost to Derby, lost to Hull, drew with Blackburn, and then lost to Bristol. So yeah, that's
3 of 4. Yeah.
They've had
they were on a
bounce there. They needed to come back.
Yeah, they needed to get a bounce back because they started out real hot under their new manager.
But that shows how bad Coventry have been. That they're basically second now and only 6 points off Coventry. Yeah. With that bad run that they've just had. So yeah, between the 3 of them, Coventry, Middlesbrough, and Ipswich, that's a strong set for the top 2.
Yeah.
Unless someone does something really stupid.
Ipswich have got a game in hand as well, haven't they?
Yes, they do. They still have a game in hand as well, yeah.
Yeah, because I think they were saying if they win that game in hand, they go 5 points behind Coventry, I think.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another team. We'll get to that one. But that's another team we need to talk about. Millwall 2, Swansea 1. Probably not a big surprise.
Expected.
I think I might have picked a draw there, but yeah, not a total surprise.
I'm more surprised Swansea scored, if I'm honest, away at Millwall. I had that as like Millwall 1-0 all day long sort of result.
Yeah. I'm still Millwall's such a strange one for me because until we played Blackburn, I was convinced Millwall was the worst team we played all season. When we played them, they were terrible. And we hammered, and it was at Millwall. I mean, we hammered them. I was not like blown away by them at all. So the fact that they have done so well since then has kind of blown me away because they were not good when we played them. But yeah, not a surprise there. I don't think 2-1. I'd probably pick something similar to that. I can't remember.
I picked 2-0.
Yeah, I can't remember. I assume I went with a Millwall win, but I don't remember. I know I had a really crappy day. My tips weren't very good at all. I only got like 2. I get 2 out of all of them.
I'm slowly catching you up as well. Then am I?
Slowly. You got a ways to go yet. Don't get ahead of yourself there.
I don't know. Have you checked it recently?
I haven't. I have no idea.
I wouldn't.
No. Well, you can't trust Ken anyway. He's got it all messed up. We're gonna have to have a recount of this thing.
Gonna say we need like a third adjudicator, don't we? Somebody at the end of the season to go through some neutral party.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Let's see. Norwich 0, Stoke 2. I was a little surprised by this one. I think Norwich has been getting better. Surprised me a little bit. I mean, Stoke's a good team. Don't get me wrong. It surprised me a little bit to lose 2-0 at home, though. You guys think?
I think I predicted Norwich to win that personally.
I gave Stoke a 2-1 win.
I can't remember what I tipped. I'd have to go back and look. But
Stoke's run of form is truly awful. I think they have not been good recently.
Not been great, yeah. Let me go back to the table real quick. Curiosity, because they were up and around it, and then they kind of fallen off. Yeah, they're in 8th right now. With that win, that puts. Oh yeah, that's right. Because we were 8th, and then they went ahead, and that jumped them up above us. They're above us on goal difference, so they're on a +9. We're on +6. So, yeah. I was watching things. We kept dropping. I didn't like it at all. Like, stop it. Anyway, so let's go back. Was there any other fixtures other than ours? I know there were several that didn't get played. So you had Hull, Watford didn't get played, which that's a story. What'd they say? It was a 400-mile round trip, right? And Hull, or I guess they abandoned the game 20 minutes before kickoff or something like that. Yeah, that's rough. I don't know how you do it. And apparently it was just wasn't the pitch. It was just the areas around the pitch, like the technical area and stuff was icy.
It's happened to me once before. I've been walking to St Andrews many years ago. I think we were playing Middlesbrough at home. And so be about I would say about 45 minutes before kickoff, and the game got called off due to I'd say ice, and it wasn't ice and snow, but it was essentially the surrounding area. So safety of fans was the reason they gave it, but it was done 45 minutes before kickoff.
Wow. Yeah, I put a lot of that up in the Discord. We were discussing this. I think it's an absolute piss take. Absolute piss take. Yeah, I'm sorry. You do not wait that long to do the technical areas. You don't. Like, the pitch was perfect. The pitch was all completely done. I know you got drainage and other stuff to help you, whatever, if you got a good pitch, but you do not wait that long. And the technical area was the only area that was completely iced over that they hadn't done. There's a couple of pictures are now floating around about the guys with blow torches trying to defrost it. That's a load of crap. They went out with blow torches to take a few bloody pictures so that they could put them up afterwards. This whole thing was a setup. They went out and watered that area in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And who cares about the technical area either? I mean,
right.
If a manager slips and falls on his backside, who gives a damn? It's a good.
But it was in between the technical area as well with the tunnel. I think it was at the tunnel area as well. So they'd slip going in at half time.
Oh,
I know. It was purposely an area that the ref couldn't let go. That people would be walking around, that players would be there with their boots and studs. You know, that it was something they couldn't let go. If you had like one area of the pitch not finished or not perfect, a little bit hard, you could probably ignore it. You know, but nah, this was done on purpose.
I was I thought the whole little thing they put out was interesting, or not whole Watford. They basically made it pretty clear that they weren't in agreement with, postponing.
But it wasn't their choice anyway. So
right, yeah, but they were, I don't think they were happy about it at all.
No.
Really interesting. And then, of course, Sheffield United and Oxford got called off. That's a little surprising one. I mean, that's a team that's been in the Prem. The fact that they couldn't keep their field in good enough condition to play, that's I find that hard to believe. But
it was pretty cold. Was pretty cold up north.
But they did call it early, so
yeah. I mean, at least they called it early. But
see, the thing is, right? What you could do? Let's just say for a second they didn't want to play the match. Who knows if they had a problem with their heating boilers? They went down during the night. They stopped working or whatever. It's so much easier to do that.
Yeah.
See the place completely iced up and then tell the ref as soon as he gets there in the morning, look, there's nothing we could do. Our heating went down. Everything is completely blocked up. Gets cancelled nice and early. Everyone's told. Nobody makes a big deal about it and gone. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying you could have if you wanted to.
I could believe that conspiracy theory if it was Oxford at home, not Sheffield United.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they needed to. I don't think they had that many issues.
Yeah. Yeah, because I would imagine Sheffield United are pretty annoyed about it because when this gets rearranged, probably Oxford will have a manager and might be in far better shape.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to play with congestion too much as well if you're a decent team.
And then the third one was Portsmouth at home against Ipswich.
They have 2 matches now to rearrange. They're going to get absolutely slaughtered. when they start rearranging these. They're going to go weeks and weeks with double matches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think we're already got a ton of 3-game weeks the way it is.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have to slide. They're going to have a couple
into the only couple that don't have double weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll I can see Ipswich putting out a weakened side in the FA Cup, and look, we've been knocked out of that, because that will certainly lighten the fixture congestion for them.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that brings us to our games. John, we'll let you go first. Birmingham 3, Coventry 2. What'd you think of it?
It was a banger.
It was a great game of football, wasn't it?
Great. Yeah.
I would have enjoyed it more if I could have felt my face, my knees, my feet, my hands. Because by God, it was cold. But yeah, it was. It was. I think it was a lesson in sort of poor defending and clinical finishing at the same time, really. It was a really good game. I really enjoyed it, and I was pleasantly surprised that we were a bit practical in our sort of, in the second half. We didn't sort of continue to go not toe to toe, but like for like, and we actually shut up shop and went, go on then, break us down, and we went a little bit defensive, which I've only seen us really do once before this season, which was Preston away when we were winning. So it was a cracking game of football, a brilliant result. Unexpected, because obviously with all the injuries and suspensions we've got, even though we got a few back and we had a new left back playing, which seemed to slot in really well, I still looked at that Coventry side and went, it should still be too much for us right now. But really pleased.
Yeah. Speaking of the new left back, what were your thoughts on him? I watched your game. I thought he looked pretty good. Got an assist a few minutes into the game.
The assist king, as they call him, isn't it, from the MLS? I was pleasantly surprised, really. I mean, I wasn't really expecting too much. We were discussing actually before the teams were sort of announced whether we all thought he would start or not, and with the rumours about Cashin going elsewhere on loan, you kind of thought, well, the only option is to play the new kid or play Cashin. Do you really want to play a lad that's, pretty much all no secret he's not going to be with us in a matter of days? Or do you go with the guy you've just bought? But it was a big ask because he only arrived in the country 48 hours previous. So, I thought he did really well. Obviously, he's brought in as competition for Cochrane, who's our normal left back. Do I think he will displace Cochrane? Maybe not. I'm not quite sure. We need to see more of him. The one thing I was really happy to see was he was very streetwise to the Championship, in the sense of, you see a lot of players coming from, especially MLS or other divisions, they struggle to cope with the pace and the physicality of the Championship, and he seemed to just sort of seamlessly take to it. And he was up against a tricky player in that Sakamoto from Coventry. I mean, that's a baptism of fire. That is, one training session I think they said he had, which was essentially a walkthrough for team shape and stuff, and then straight into the starting 11 against the league leaders and one of the best wingers in the division. So I'm really pleased. I hope to see him probably play another 60-70 minutes on the weekend in the FA Cup to get some more match minutes under his belt. So we'll see.
So you got Cambridge, right?
Yeah, Cambridge away. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think? I mean, for you guys, do you think he'll go somewhat strong, or do you think he'll just change it?
I think he'll change it. I think because everyone's had the hectic Christmas period. We've probably had it a little bit more because of the injuries. So a few players, I think even Davis admitted, there's a few players which have had to play 2-3 consecutive 90-minute games through this Christmas period when they shouldn't have done, but because we didn't really have much else behind. So it's I can see a few, but I think there'll be a few, like Clara. He's back from his suspension. I think he'll come back because he hasn't played for 3 games. The new player we've obviously changed the goalkeepers around, a few midfield, but it depends. I'm sure we'll discuss transfers a bit later, but it depends who's left and who's might have come in by then. If I'm being honest, you don't know. So
right, yeah,
and
fair.
Ken's favourite player Fujimoto might get some minutes. Who knows?
Somebody said he came on? I didn't notice.
He
Did he come
came
on
on
in the
late.
game? I missed
did.
it. I somehow managed to miss that. To be fair, I was messing around doing other things, but I had the game on after I watched our game. I threw it on because we had the replay, so I threw the replay up and was kind of watching.
You were awfully harsh on Cashin after he scored a goal for you.
Was I?
And the Discord, yeah. I can't even
Kuma.
remember.
Sorry, Kuma.
Sorry. No, yeah, Kumas. I missed up the names. That's what confused me. Yeah, Kumas.
Yeah, he's still crap.
But you couldn't take a day off, no?
No, he's still rubbish. Even in that game, he frustrates the hell out of me. You know, the amount of times he'd get the ball and just like he's one-on-one with the defender and he just runs into the defender. It's like, mate, players are not invisible. You can't just run through them. Yeah, but
he needs a little more. He needs a little more quality on the ball. He is fast though. He's got really good pace. I watched a couple of runs he made down that wing, and I thought he's definitely got some pace about him. But to your point though, he did just kind of run right into his man. I was like, what are you doing?
He's one of the worst wide players I think I've seen in the last 5 years down at Birmingham, and we've had some shockers. He just has absolutely zero end product. I mean, he took the goal well. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it was noticeable he didn't have the confidence to take it early. He felt the need that he had to try and go round the keeper, which, to be fair to him, he left himself an acute angle to do it, but he finished it well. Though I think Coventry fans will be a bit annoyed with Bobby Thomas on the line, who seemed to kick fresh air and miss the ball. No. I was a bit. I half wonder whether Fujimoto might get a nod instead of him because Kumas's previous game he was truly awful. The Fujimoto one he came on right at the death, which is was quite funny. Have you guys heard of the Who that the Birmingham fans do for the opposition substitutes?
No.
It's been going for decades. But every time an opposition makes a substitute at St Andrews, the guy over the tannoy will say replacing such and such for, Coventry City, and then it all goes quiet and the whole home fans shout who, and then he'll say replacing such and such, and our fans will go who, and it will say number such and such. Blah blah blah. So of course, when he read out that I think it was Stansfield who came off. So it was replacing number 28 Jay Stansfield. Everyone was standing up applauding. He said number 27 Kenya Fujimoto, and all the home crowd just went who. So and then of course he got a big cheer because it was like we heard a lot about him, but we've not seen this kid. So
how'd he look? I mean, obviously he didn't play too long, but he looked all right.
I think he touched the ball once. Okay. So I feel for him really because other than the FA Cup, I do have a sneaky feeling we won't ever see him again. If I'm honest, I think unfortunately it was just a person he could bring on. Stansfield was knackered, and we needed legs. So
yeah.
We maybe have the opposite problem in that we're starting to have some of our League One players getting minutes now and actually looking good. And of course, all the nostalgia is coming back now, and everybody's saying, "Oh, they deserve to be playing and stuff," and they're playing well. So it's just a somewhat small sample size, and it's hard. And if we were absolutely comfortable just staying level, they'd be perfect players for the Championship. Give them time, let them see exactly what they can do, and then go from there. But when you're trying to push as quickly as you can, you're just replacing good players that should deserve more time.
Yeah, I mean, I think I stirred the pot on Twitter earlier today because there's rumours about one of our players going, and a lot of people are like, "Well, he's a good player and all that," and I sort of said, "Well, yeah, he's all right, but he's not exactly good enough, is he? And he's not good enough to where we want to go to. So, if there's interest in him, and you can replace him, you do, don't you?"
Yeah.
You have to be ruthless in that side of things.
Yeah, I know. One thing just happened today. The Mullen got his loan got terminated at Wigan, and you get a handful of people, and I'm sure there's some in the chat that are like, "Oh, play him," and I'm like, "No, Why?
Yeah, you should.
Don't do that.
You should.
No.
He's earned it. He's earned it. Play him.
No. Let him go. Here's the first problem is, and I know you two know, the first problem is if he plays for us, he can't play for anybody else the rest of the season. The second problem is he wasn't good enough last season. He's not going to be good enough now. He wasn't good enough for Wigan, apparently. Yeah, I'd like to see him get a League Two move. Sounds like what was it? Was it Salford? Was it Salford?
Salford was the main talking point. Yeah.
Yeah. So. So yeah, I'd like to see him get back on a loan, get out there, get playing, get some regular minutes.
How old is he now?
31.
So he's not,
He's not. Yeah, he's not ancient. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if he would entertain going abroad somewhere because of his. No.
I think if
it's
he
his
wants
family
to
for him.
Family.
He wants to stay near home.
Yeah. So that's kind of
his issues.
Thing. Mm-hmm.
I just the only thing I would say on him is motivation wise, because obviously, like he's rose up with you guys. Going back to League Two, but is the motivation there to go and perform? It's that question, is it? Is his willingness? Does he want to play football? I suppose it all comes down to the player, doesn't it?
Well, he can happily sit with our team for the next year and a half because he's contracted till the end of 27.
Yeah.
So he's plenty of time to chill out if that's what he wants to do. Spend time with his family if he's happy not to be on the pitch playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I guess let's go on to. Was there anything else you want to touch on your game before we move on? Or was that
no, just a great game for the neutrals, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was a fun game to watch. I was impressed. You guys basically. I mean, just right back as soon as they equalized, it was bam, you scored again, and it was you guys kept out in front. I thought you guys looked good.
I found it very frustrating that it took them to equalise for us to go, okay, let's go play again.
Yeah.
It's like, lads, come on, But no, it was a bit pinball-y, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Oh, I guess one person we haven't highlighted. You get the brace from Mr. Ducksworth or whatever we're calling him.
Yeah, as somebody said, home or not home fans, but Birmingham fans should tell him to F off.
More often,
because it seems to get a performance out of him. But to be fair, he's one of those at home. He has performed. It's away from home, which a lot of them haven't. So there is that on the flip side that while yes, it's a fantastic result and we've beaten Coventry 3-2, blah blah blah, but the question marks have never really been our home form. We've lost once at home in 37 months or something daft like that. So even though it was Coventry, our home record is pretty good. So the question will be: is we have Swansea away? Is after the FA Cup? That's the one where you say that's okay. Let's see if we turn the corner or whether we can actually put a performance away from home. If we continue to do the same, then nothing's changed. So
so I guess was there? I mean, was that you think that was his best performance of the season? Then was that, or is he? I thought he looked really good myself.
I think he looked better against. I think it was Norwich, and I think it was Watford at home. Okay. I think he played better. I think the first goal he scored, I think, is probably the best goal he scored. That was an incredible finish, to be fair to him. To hit that the way he did with the power he did, that takes some confidence firstly, and then that there aren't many forwards in this division that have the technical abilities to do that. So he that was impressive. But no, he needs to be more like that every week. That's the thing. If he can play like that, near enough every other week, then we've got a hell of a forward on our hands. So
so real quick before we move on, we might as well touch on it. Lots of stuff, I think you've always kind of said it sounded like the board was always backing him, but when kind of alleviate some of the pressure on Davies, definitely doesn't hurt, you'd say.
Yeah, I think it probably alleviates the pressure from maybe the media and the fans.
Yeah,
fans get him off his back for a while.
I'll be brutally honest. The home fans are never on his back anyway. The away fans are not so much. I don't think. I mean, there's just you have to. It's like every football fan base, isn't it? There's a social media aspect, which is kind of almost like a snapshot, and then there's the majority of the fan base.
right.
The majority of the fan base have always sort of, we've been through managers left, right, and centre before. Would we really gain too much? I mean, I've been quite open. I think he's had 20 odd games to improve the away form, and it hasn't changed. So, I think he would be on borrowed time. The ownership, by all accounts, are completely committed to him. So there was never any doubt, even if he'd lost commentary. That whole story, that I mean, all the media drove it. It's the one game to save his job, and a lot of them said, "Oh, even if he wins, he's gone." Blah blah blah. And it's like, well, here we are, we've won, and day later, and he's still there. So there was never any real legitimate pressure about his job going.
Okay. Guess that's it with Birmingham then. I guess we can go on to the Wrexham game. So we had Derby 1, Wrexham 2. Another really good performance from us. Interesting to see Broadhead and Windass off of Smith this time. A little different, different way of playing. I thought it was really good. Got to say the Barrington Diaz goal was a pretty good goal. Took it really well. It was a little disappointing the way we conceded it. Thought we were playing really well, and then they just caught us out the one time, and it was just like, God dang, a little frustrating. Looking at the stats, yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it was. It's exactly what it was. But yeah, it was a little disappointing, and it came so quick after our goal. I think it was maybe not quite 10 minutes after, maybe 7 or 8 minutes after our goal. They come back and score, and it's like, you're starting to feel comfortable. And but yeah, and both teams, I think both teams had spells during the game where they looked really good. And I think I always felt like we had the better of it, though. Maybe that's just the fan in me, but I always felt like we were on top. They're a good team, though. And I don't think they played poorly. I don't think they were bad. You know what I mean? I don't think we beat them because they were bad. I think they were I just think they were a good team, and we just played a little better. That finish, though, from Matty James is we got Sir Matty James over here. I mean, what a hit from him. That was awesome.
Surprised he didn't pull a hammy when he did that.
Dude, I'll tell you what, he's had, me and Patty have talked about this before. He's taken shots like that before, and it's like one of these days he's going to smoke. He's going to put one of those in, because every once in a while, he doesn't do it often, but every once in a while he just crushes one. It's like, one of these days he's going to stick one in the top corner, and sure enough, it happened, and happened to be the game winner. It was a great hit. I will say their keeper's really good. I was impressed with him. I thought he's really good.
He's good.
Yeah, he's linked to a lot of Prem clubs, isn't he? This January, there's apparently a lot of interest in him.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, for sure. He's a good keeper, and he's a big guy too. He's not. I don't know exactly how tall he was, but you could tell he was a taller guy. He wasn't a smaller keeper. So he could get play. Kind of like Okonkwo. He's long enough to get places. You know what I mean? He can get across the net. And really cover his.
He got to a header or he got to a shot against us when we played him at home, and I still to this point do not know how he's got fingertips to it, because he had no right to get to it. It was a goal all the way, and he's literally got almost like a fingernail to it, and it's just managed to pump it onto the post. So very good goalkeeper.
Oh shoot. What? Anything else? From the game, Patty, that you want to point out? Or it was, like I said, I thought it was a good performance. Obviously, 4 in a row, fantastic, loving that. But anything else out of the game stood out to you?
No, we should have been more clinical at the start of the match. We had some great opportunities before they'd settled, and we could have been 2-0 up before we even thought about it. Because they're counter goal. That's going to happen with this style we're playing. We are going to get caught. So we do need to, when we get those chances, to make them count, because in other matches it may actually have been more important. And it did make it a little nervy, of course, when it went back to the 1-1 and it took something special from James. But I'm really comfortable with the new style. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I thought, obviously that chance Broadhead had early where he bounces it off the bar or off the post, and it comes down, and then he hits it again, sticks it over, and it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, he should have scored both of those and manages to miss them both. Yeah, it was a little frustrating. We definitely had some early chances. Somebody posted in the chat, Rathbone was close. Yeah, he had one that I think he was.
Yeah, and Lewis and Barnes still can't finish.
And again, Brian, you know what? He just looked like he got on that one break, and he's cutting across the box, and it's like he just doesn't. He didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? It's like he got in that position. He's like, I don't know what. He just got lost, and ends up losing the ball. It was tough. Tough to watch that. I still say he's better off if we play him deeper. But
bit of a random one. Do you think Eustace is under a bit of pressure because their fans are not happy with him?
I guess they spent money. They did spend money in the summer.
It's daft, really, because they are the polar opposite to us. Their home form is dreadful, but they are really good away from home. But whenever you're poor at home in front of your own fans, the pressure is a little bit more, isn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously, with it being Eustace on social media, a lot of Blues fans like to, there's a lot, after the game, there was so much, Derby fans just saying, Eustace terrorist football. I've had enough of watching this at home, blah, blah, blah. And I just wondered whether, do we think he's under a bit of pressure from the fan base, especially with the home record?
I don't know. That's an interesting one. I mean, I hadn't really thought about it because, they're not doing poorly. But I guess it just depends on where they thought they should be this season. I think they're sitting, mid-table right now. So, they're not far off where I think they probably would have expected to be. They're sitting 13th, so it's not like they're miles off it or anything. I just wonder what they think, what they expected, what they thought they'd get.
I just get a funny feeling when you spend £7 million on a guy up front. I think you probably have maybe unrealistic ambitions of maybe not finishing top 6, but challenging for top 6.
I will say this: he was nowhere to be found in that game. I don't think he did anything. Ajima, we're talking about. He actually made me feel good because as much crap as I've talked about him, I was convinced he's going to score a hat trick against us or something this season.
No, he just saved that performance against us, Aaron.
Yeah, there you go. Good. I'm happy he did. No, he didn't. Yeah, they played him on the left, which I think that's where he likes to play for them. I think that's where he's done well for them. But he just didn't. Be honest, it was almost like he went on the pitch. And I'll be honest, when they took him off, I didn't even realize they'd taken him off because
they took him off really early. 60 minutes.
And I didn't realize they'd taken him off, but I didn't notice that he, you know what I mean? Because he was just he wasn't doing anything anyway.
Who did they play up front? If he played on the left,
how'd they start out? It was
because he played up front against us, and I remember reading into it afterwards, and a lot of the Derby fans were saying since he had gone up front, since Morris had been injured, he would. They played Brewster. Yeah,
Brewster up front, Diaz, which actually, now to think about it, I feel like Diaz played up front at least for some of that.
Yeah.
But it was Diaz and
Fatmov
has Brewster. I actually thought it was Diaz, but maybe it was.
Yeah, because against us, they played Aguiman straight through the middle, and he gave Clara a torrid time, and they played Brewster out wide. And I think a lot of the Derby fans were saying that since he got moved to the middle, he was really good. He seems to go missing when they played him out wide. So a bit surprised if they've moved him back out wide. That wouldn't make a lot of sense, but I guess they're trying to probably get the best out of Brewster, I guess.
Yeah, just looking at it there, they actually made 4 substitutions at 60 minutes. So Elder came off, Thompson came off, Agamyang, and Brewster. Brewster as well came off at 60 minutes. He made big changes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it was. I mean, obviously, he wasn't happy with the way things were going. I mean, I think it was basically more or less right after. When did that? Now I want to look. When that second goal went in, was it 48 minutes? Yeah, he changed it 12. On 60. So, wasn't happy with the way things were going.
Kluivert really was doing a job on him, trying to shut him down. Kluivert was working his ass off to close him down, and he actually got his yellow card because of giving out to the ref. He kicked the ball away when he was picked off after he had been working to try and stop him, and the call went against him, and he kicked the ball away and got a yellow card, which is not like Kluivert. So he was having a hard time, but he was just about kind of keeping up with it, and he was doing a lot of work. Maybe he was getting a little annoyed at himself or whatever, that maybe it was a little tougher job than usual, but he actually did a good job to shut him down for the most part.
Yeah. I'll give him this. I mean, he's definitely a physical player. You know what I mean? He's fast. He's physical. I just my biggest issue with, and of course, I'm talking about Agyemang. My biggest issue with him was he wasn't a great finisher. I didn't think in the MLS. He missed a lot of easy chances, and honestly, a lot of the games I watched in the MLS, he just stood around a lot. He played more like a fox in the box, and he just happened to be there. And so the goals he was scoring were tap-ins. He wasn't really working hard. And to be fair to him, a lot of the games I've seen him in the championship this season, he has worked hard and he has been really causing people issues. I was a little disappointed that I was like, oh crap, maybe I missed on that, but it was just against us though. He just didn't look like.
Ted said, which is a little bit true as well. Max didn't have the pace to keep with him at critical times. He did. I do remember him getting through on a couple of attacks and getting past him. But I think in the grand scheme of things, he did a really good job because he's bloody quick. He's fast. Yeah, Agamyang, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's got those two attributes which make every defense scared as hell, isn't he? He's got strength and pace. Yeah. And you put those two together, no matter which defense you are, you worried because
you can get caught. Yeah,
you can get caught at any given moment.
Yeah. Okay, so let's I guess can talk about I guess I could bring it up. Let me bring up the. You guys keep talking. I'm going to bring up the league table real quick so we can kind of show that.
Yeah, so here's one to talk about. Our pal Callum Fowler said if Eustace had our squad, he would be running away with the league.
I like Eustace, not that much.
Not quite. Not quite that much.
Yeah.
I think he's a really good manager myself. I actually do like him as a manager.
Eustace.
Eustace. I like him.
Yeah. He has a certain way of playing. He's pragmatic. He won't try and do anything. He's exactly what you see on the tin, if you know what I mean. He's a good manager at this level. Callum Fowler likes to. He's a good guy, Cal. I like a lot of his stuff, but I think he has an agenda against Parky. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, for sure. Honestly, let's be honest. He likes a piss take though too. You know what I mean? I get it. He's playing into it. I don't mind.
Yeah, lately I noticed he's playing into it a bit more for fun now. Yeah, he's making comments that are actually somewhat positive. And then
it was funny.
And then saying, "Oh, but I never want him, and he's useless," and he's pretending kind of.
Yeah, for a while he was very pro Wrexham. I think he was getting a lot of Wrexham viewers, and he was watching his viewers go up, and he was kind of being nice, and then he turned on him.
He'll do the babyface turn again.
Yeah, probably.
He's in that heel at the moment where a couple of comments here and there signaling. At some point, he'll have no choice but to stop talking about it.
Sure. I do like his little collaborations he does with Jimmy from the Blades thing. The Sheffield
I
United.
just saw that for the first. I didn't watch it, but I just saw that video pop up because I'd watched some Blade stuff after we played them, and so now I've got like a bunch of Blade stuff popping up, and so I saw that. I haven't watched it yet, though.
Yeah, because Jimmy, he's a lovely guy, but he is like like everyone is with their own their own club. He has the proper blinkers on, and they do like the collaborations, and they try and like pick a best 11 from whoever who are playing. And I'll never forget when Cal just turned around. He said, "This is pointless with you. If we were playing Barcelona, you would still insist on Peck and Harmer and O'Hare being better than the Barcelona side. It's just unrealistic."
Oh, shoot. Good stuff. All right. Well, let me pull up the table real quick. And here we go. And I managed to get Birmingham City in there, John. So there you go. You can't yell at me. But yeah, here we go. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Nah,
obviously, Coventry City, 52 points. Been dropping some games. The form's not great. But what's that? That puts them 6 points ahead of Middlesbrough at the moment. So that lead that they've built up is dropping rapidly. And then of course Ipswich Town, with a game in hand, could actually could make it 5. And I mean, you would expect they probably will. At some point whenever that game gets replayed. Preston North End. Obviously we played them, beat them, and I honestly thought that was Preston on the way down because they'd been kind of on a slide. But they've won the last 2 and have managed to get themselves up to 4th on the table. Any thoughts on Preston?
I'd say they've a decent shot of ending up in the playoffs. They're kind of solid enough over the long term. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't. Solid is the way I would say it. They're getting enough points. I don't think they're an amazing team, but they're just doing the business. They're not messing around. They're taking their points home.
Yeah. Below them, Millwall. They got to win this weekend. Sitting 5th. I mean, they're kind of always a team that's up and around it. So not a super surprise, but wouldn't be surprised if they dropped out of the playoffs either. What do you think, John?
I think Millwall are more likely to finish in the top 6 than Preston, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think Millwall might have a bit of money to spend in January, so I can see them doing a little bit of business. Plus, let's face it, they've been challenging to get in that top 6 the last couple of seasons, so they've been building gradually. So you'd probably expect them to be there or thereabouts. I wouldn't put my house on them being in their mind. But the thing is with Millwall, they're just consistent, aren't they? They're not spectacular. They're just consistent, which has kept them where they are, really.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
The problem is for me, if I go down through the list of, especially the top 10, but then anybody else you want to add to it, there's not a lot of them I would say are kind of almost a lock for the playoffs, or are absolutely going to make a really good playoff push. So it could be really weak this year as well, depending. So any of these teams could make a run on it. But yeah, Preston and Millwall at the moment, I think they're the most solid. They're achieving the most general solid results the whole way across. Then Watford, I don't rate Watford, to be honest. I know you do. So yeah, will they be in there? But Hull, I do not think they can keep that up in the second half of the season. The results they've been getting with the amount of goals they're letting in behind them, I can't see them last an entire season playing like that. But they are linked to some good players, so everything changes in January. So we'll have to see what happens now with these this window. Will be interesting.
Yeah. Stoke sitting in 8th. They're kind of touch and go. I mean, obviously a rumor came out, which I don't know if I believe or not, but apparently some interest in Sorba Thomas from Prim teams. Yeah, maybe, possibly.
Sorba Thomas is not a Premier League player.
I don't think so either. But
he don't get me wrong, he's a wonderful player at this level. And he's had a great season so far. But if he's a Premier League player, you might as well close shop. Premier League's done. He really is. Come on, let's be real.
Yeah. But I mean, if they were to lose him, he seems like he's done everything for them. So I think they'd be in trouble. And then little old Wrexham sitting ninth. 4 wins on the bounce. What do you think, Patty?
Who's this now?
The little old Wrexham.
Oh, the Wrexham. Sorry, I misheard that. Yeah, we are coming into form at the right time. We're about to get our players back. Our secondary players are doing the business. We have a couple of theoretically weaker teams in the next couple of weeks until the window shuts. So we're in place now to actually make a move and to be solid and to be in the playoffs by the end of January. Yeah. I am more worried about the end of the season. To be honest, I think that's what could potentially hurt us. But at the same time, if we are up in the playoffs by the time we get there to the last 8, say, we do have the mentality to push our way through it and to fight against the better teams. We like to stand up to the big teams. So as much as we're fantasizing a little bit, and I know this is a bit crazy, to happen, it could happen. Yeah. And then there's all the rumors now at the moment where they're going big, they're spending money. We're looking at multiple positions that would increase our squad and make us better for the second half of the season. And history says we've done it before. We've gotten to this position in January's. We have bulked up the squad and we've gone for it and we've done it. So playoffs, I definitely think playoffs is an option for the end of the season. Now, people have now started talking about autos. BBC did an article on it. So they're starting to jump on the boat now and bring out stories for the clickbait and the articles and all of this sort of stuff. I do think the autos is too far removed. And between the 3 of them, Coventry, Middlesbrough, and Ipswich, I think 2 of those are going to take the top 2. But how do you somewhat guarantee the playoffs? Is to go big and talk about getting automatics, bring in really new, strong players, and then look, if you just miss out on that, you'll be somewhere in the playoffs, and you'll have a strong squad to have a shot at the playoffs. But I still don't think we'll go up in the playoffs this year, and we might still miss out on a couple of targets we're looking for, but we're in place to try and convince them that with their help, we'll make playoffs. We'll have a shot at going up this year. I think that's a realistic thing to say in this position.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I think realistically, I think playoffs is what we should be shooting for. But I mean, if you're the ownership and you look at it like it is, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear my dog or not. He's going nuts right now. But anyway, if you look at where we're sitting, we're 6 points off the autos, and it's like, yeah, that seems like a stretch, and that seems like it's probably maybe it's fool's gold, but when you're that close, I mean, you gotta go for it, right? I mean, you can't. I think in a season like this where there's not a ton of, or I mean, there's no the big teams aren't really playing to their best. The teams with parachute payments are struggling, most of them, other than Ipswich. And you're getting to a point in the season where it's like, I think we're getting, close enough now that it's like, this is probably the group we're going to have to be competing with. And I think we can compete with a group of teams that are around here, that are close to the autos. All the teams ahead of us, I think we can compete with all of them. And so if you're the ownership and you think, what's on the other end of that rainbow? Yeah, maybe it's pie in the sky thinking, but if they've got the money and they can spend, I mean, this season, probably the season to do it, because we've already kind of talked about some of the teams that could be coming down are probably going to be stacked. Talk about Wolves, a team that's been in the Premier League for how long now? A good handful of years since they've been in the Championship. I mean, West Ham, we don't know. Could they get relegated? There's a chance. I mean, those teams are going to be very well equipped for the Championship, I think. And I think if you're going to go and you're this close, I mean, if you want to, if that's your goal, if Premier League's your goal and you've got the money, I think you have to go for it. I mean, I think it'd be odd not to. And from everything, as you said, from everything we're hearing, they're going for it. I mean, it sounds like they're going to put their money where their mouth is and spend it and go for it and see where we end up. But I think realistically, I think playoffs is more realistic. And even that, I mean, coming into the season, I thought that was a stretch. But I mean, just looking at where we're at now, 4 wins on the bounce, the team really starting to play well together. I think you stiffen up a couple spots on the team, and I think we could be real close. Really, really give a push. And depending on how big they go, maybe you do push for autos because you're only 6 points off. I mean, what was it? 3-4 weeks ago, we were 6-7 points off the playoffs. Now we've closed that gap. So, granted, I mean, it's going to be tougher. As we go, the more games you play, the harder it is to catch up. Because you're playing against teams that are also on good form too. You know what I mean? You're not passing teams that are losing 4 on the bounce and stuff like that. So it's against teams that are winning more often than not. So yeah, it's going to be tough. It's probably is a bit pie in the sky, but I think nothing wrong with going for it. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with going for it. What's your take on it, John? Take the piss out of us. Let's go.
No, I think was it 4 wins on the spin? It's a great run of form. And yeah, I think if you've got the money, you would go for it. I think automatics. Yeah, I think that personally is pie in the sky because I think the amount of money you would have to spend if you're being realistic and take a step back and say, okay, can we compete squad wise with Ipswich? No. And the amount of money you would need to spend to compete with that it's a lot. I don't see you spending that sort of money in January. But yeah, playoffs, it looks like a lot of people said the league looks quite open this season. The only thing I would say with this league, and it does have this tendency to do things like this, where you can go on a bit of a run, and then you can also go on another bit of a run, and you can be back down in 14th and 15th. It's a bastard of a league to do that. So it's about, as everyone says about it, it's about the consistency. You don't need to win, your next 5 games, but you just need to tick the points over. The thing that this league has a tendency to do is like you can win 3-4 and then not win in 3 or 4 and draw 3 or lose what it's one of those. So yeah, and as much as hey, we're the same, we'll look at January and we'll look to strengthen that, but there's a lot of teams in there that will look to strengthen and think they're only missing 3-4 players that could make them into a really good top 6 side. So
yeah, but the truth is, in theory, you don't need to match them squad for squad. You just need to beat them on the day you play them, because they can have it as easy as they want with the rest of the league with their strong squad. You just have to win your matches. It doesn't matter if you run your ass off or if you get lucky in a couple of matches. The points are the points. But yes, getting the top 2 when there's 3 strong teams is going to take a world of extra things outside of your own play to get there, because they're going to have to significantly fall off. They already have a lead. They have the strong squads. They have depth in their squads. That means they should be able to get over injuries. So when you add all that up, it's unlikely to be up there. But we can still compete with them. So if we can beat them, that will push us up the league nicely into the playoffs. But same as everybody else, they can do it as well. You don't need the total squad to do it. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, the first 10 matches, in the final 20 matches of this season, the first 10 for us, I think, are significantly easier. This is where we've started our run. We could collect a lot of points in these next 10 matches, but after that it swings a bit. There's a lot of away fixtures against some difficult opponents. We have some difficult opponents at home, so you could go on a downswing there too. A lot of stuff has to go here. But what's kind of important for me right now is getting through January with the points, because everybody's waiting on players. So if everybody else is getting okay results and we actually have a nice run here, that's what will push us up there. But then it's, can you hold your nerve at the end of the season for us, I think.
I mean, Watford are the prime example, aren't they? I think, about a month ago they were sat down in 16th or something like that, and they've just put a run of results together and shot right up the table. But again, I think, I know you don't particularly like Watford. I really like Watford, but there's a lot of interest in Loser, who I think is who for me is probably the best player in the division, to be honest. And if he does disappear and go to the Premier League, I think that massively hurts Watford. Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to get 20+ million quid or whatever it is for him. But you can't replace that. You're not going to get a similar sort of player of that quality to come to the Championship. So you are instantly going to be worse off.
And even if you can, let's just talk about other players in general, because maybe some other teams might be in similar situations. If you lose a good player and you just have to let them go, even if you bring someone in that maybe is of similar quality, they need the extra time with the team. There's still negatives from bringing someone in, and in most cases, they won't be up to scratch immediately, and they won't be up to the same level for quite a while, even if maybe down the road they're better. So it's not a good thing to swap out your players, even if you're getting money for them. And that's one good thing for us. Nobody's coming in for our manager. Nobody's trying to steal Parky. Nobody's coming in to steal our players, because most of them are a little bit older. They're kind of on final contracts and they're on good money. So unlike some other teams that can actually get hurt in the January window, I think we're fairly steady, and we have the money to buy new players. So we will get stronger coming out of this window. Some of the other teams may not, and they may get weaker. But I know some have money too. I'm not saying everybody doesn't have money to spend. But if it's true what we're doing, people will write articles about us spending money. Because 20 million? We could do that if they wanted to. They were already talking about 14 million on one player. You could spend 15 million on one player last season. There's no reason we can't do it in January.
Plus reported 15 million.
I heard 30. I thought it was like 29, 30, something like that.
Actually, the reported figure was 20, because they like to play this game with add-ons and all that bullshit. So I actually went with a lower figure. Now, it could be even lower still, I know that. But
it is the same as Kyogo this season. Apparently, we paid 10, albeit that actually it's come out and we actually paid 4. So,
okay. Just moving on down. Bristol City. They're kind of a hit and miss team. I mean, they just another team that just doesn't quite. They'll play really well, and then they'll have a run of games where they play shit. It's just a lot of teams like that in the division right now. QPR right below them, same way. QPR looked like world beaters one day and looked terrible the next. And then Leicester. I mean, Leicester's a team sitting bang on mid-table right now that I think most people thought would be in and around the autos, at least until they got till they get their deduction, which we thought, so I think most of us picked them in the playoffs still, though. But to be honest, I think
match is interesting if you notice.
Yeah, who is their next match?
Coventry.
Yeah. Is that? I wonder if is that home or away?
I would imagine it's probably at Cov. I would think.
Yeah, that's that would be really interesting for both those teams. Really, Cov's got to arrest that arrest the slide they're on, and really so does Leicester. Yeah, that's interesting. Really interesting. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That'll be a fun one. I don't know who they've got. Do you know who they've got in the FA Cup? I mean, I assume they probably change it.
For who? Coventry?
No, Leicester
Leicester.
in the FA
2
Cup.
seconds.
I think Coventry have got Stoke in the FA Cup, haven't they?
Yeah.
So I think that'll be two reserve sides playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Leicester are playing Cheltenham Town. So easy one for them.
Cheltenham, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so somebody threw it in the chat when we were talking about Watford a little bit ago. They did lose a defender, Max Laney. I think that's how you spell it. I don't know if that's how you say it right. Went back to Man City. He was on loan. So yeah, we can go through this real quick when we start talking about some more of these players that are leaving the division or getting rumored to leave the division.
He is likely to end back up at Watford on loan.
Is he? Okay, so just a short.
They've recorded him because the Guardia, whatever his name is, I can't say it. His leg injury because he's fractured his tibia, hasn't he? And they are looking to buy. Man City are looking to buy another defender like Gurhi or something, and they've essentially recorded him to be a squad player until they get a replacement in, and then he'll go back out on loan. Which they're all saying it will likely he will end up back at Watford.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an interesting one there. I'm assuming I already know the answer because you just said it. This rule of only playing for two teams. So it doesn't matter if you send them out for loan, bring him back to you, but then send them back out on loan to the same team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's essentially two clubs. So
even if you split one around yourself, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Still,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Who was it? Was it who was it for P&E that Everton just recalled? And it was kind of the same.
Harrison Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong. That's right. Yep. They just recalled him, but Moyes was pretty open about the fact that basically as soon as he gets a chance, they're going to send him right back. And I think he'd even he mentioned he'd like to see P&E get promoted. So and Armstrong would be a big part of that. So, it's interesting. You get some of that stuff where players kind of leave and then come back. Let's see who else. Let's get through this real quick. Derby County, kind of talked about them. Really not been on a great run of form here lately, have they? I didn't realize their run had been quite that bad. They had won the game right before they played us. But I didn't think they were a bad team though. So honestly though, I think they're a mid-table team. I think that's about where they're going to be. So we'll see how they see how their fans are, if they're happy with that, or if they prefer them to get a little further up the table. See what kind of pressure ends up on Eustace. Birmingham sitting 14th, obviously lower than I think most anybody would have had them pegged at this point. I mean, I don't know what's your thoughts, John. I mean, heading up the table, you think gonna get a run going, or just hoping to stabilize? What do you think?
I think a lot depends on our January business. There is no doubt we're short of players. Injuries have hurt us, and we're going to get suspension players back now. I think the summer business for us, there's a lot of, shall we say, misses rather than hits, and the noise is coming out of the club is that there will be a lot of business done in January. So if you are to believe the noises, it's a bit of a culling of, there'll be 5 or 6 going out and 5 or 6 coming in. So there'll be some players that will that have been around for a while, which I think will leave. There's some which were brought in that will leave. I mean, we sold Hansen today. He was recalled from Blackpool. He was on loan. Who was, of course, one of our a player we signed last summer when we were in League One. He got sold back to Dutch football today. On the weekend, Mark Leonard, Keshi Anderson, and Lyndon Dykes were all left out of the matchday squad, and they weren't injured. And when asked whether they would be leaving this window, Davis simply just replied with, "We'll see." Now, obviously, it was pretty well known Dykes was going. Leonard's a bit of a surprise because he's essentially a fourth choice behind Paker, Water, and Doyle. But yeah, it looks like he's just been cut. Anderson, who of course has been with us for a number of years, winger, has never really been up to the sort of what you'd say is top six material. So looks like he. So yeah, I think they're going to. I won't say go for it as such, but they will certainly change the squad up. And if we get, for example, say we bring 5 in, if 4 of them turn out to be really good signings with what we've already got in place, then yeah, I think we'll make a run for. I would imagine we'll make a run for the top 6. Whether we get there or not, I don't
know. So move on. Below you guys, you got Southampton. A couple parachute teams actually. Southampton and then Sheffield United. Southampton again. I mean, look at that run of form. Loss, draw, loss, draw. Doesn't look like what you'd see out of a parachute team at this time of the year. I don't think they're in danger of going down, but I don't think they're in any real going to give anybody any real trouble to go up.
If they don't make the top 6, it's an absolute calamity with that squad and that team. Because if you go, I mean, even the team that played on, the last game, you go through their side, they walk into every other side of the team in this division. How on earth they are doing so poorly is beyond me. It really is.
Yeah. Sheffield United starting to get things going decent again. A couple wins. Of course, they didn't play this past game because it got called off due to frozen pitch. You'd expect them to. I mean, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they'll get into the playoffs. Wouldn't surprise me to see them get up and around it, though. You know what I mean, and then start getting close. Maybe. He does seem to do. He does a good job of getting a lot out of his team. So, I'd be surprised if they didn't at least get close. But I think they just dug themselves such a deep hole.
They're too far off it now.
To start off the season, and I think they just got too much to get through. I mean, there's just a lot of teams in the way. And they're inconsistent too. They don't.
That's the point. Yeah, they're still inconsistent.
Yeah.
The one thing I would say about a Chris Wilder side, I always think when they've got like the favourites tag, it doesn't suit him or his teams.
Yeah.
When they are the underdog and everyone writes them off, that's when they are at their most dangerous. That's the only thing that I would put for Sheffield United as they might do something, is because no one expects them, and he will drum that into that team, and they're the sort of side that you could see going on a run towards the end of the season. And if they catch a bit of momentum with him at the helm, they could be a tough one to stop. But I think they've left themselves too much to do. But I wouldn't write them off.
Yeah. I would. I know what you're saying. I just here's my worry with them. I'm not convinced they've got money to spend in January, and I see them getting linked with a lot of players, but I don't know that they're going to be able to do a whole lot in January. Now, granted, he like you said, and like I said, he gets a lot out of his team, what he's got, but I do think they're short. I do think they need some help. I'm not convinced they're going to do a ton in January. I think that ownership group that took over, I think they're in over their head, to be honest. So yeah.
Someone put out a post on X recently that I didn't save, and it was about Sheffield United's signings in the summer. And it was basically the AI-driven signings that they bought in the summer, and only one of them is doing any sort of job for the team. 3 of them have basically been put on a list to say that they're going back out again.
Yeah,
they're done with the team already. So it's not working.
Yeah, that was a complete disaster. Their summer window.
They've sent all the loans back, haven't they, as well? They've all been terminated.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, most of them anyway. So I mean, I guess if they do anything, maybe they get some other loans. But it'd be interesting to see what they do. But I'm not convinced that ownership's got money.
I would, I mean, that's the thing with Wilder. I remember Sheffield United side that got promoted one of the first times up to the Premier League. They didn't have money then, and he somehow managed to turn people like Mark Duffy, who was absolutely useless in League One for the most of his career, into prime Ronaldo for the Championship for a half a season. That guy has a way of just doing things. That's why I say I wouldn't write them off, even with no money. But yeah,
there are flashes of it. You know, you can see he has gotten good results out of them, but after his initial grouping of wins, it went very spotty for a couple of matches there again. Can he get them back? Maybe. You know, is it just frailty within the team that there's something else going on there? They're not playing for each other or whatever. They don't believe. Who knows? Maybe he can do it, but it will take a long run for him. If people, and we've said it, there was a bit of a gap until we just went on this little run now. Like, they're so far back now. It's not unfeasible yet, but it's pretty close.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on down. Swansea below them, sitting 17th. Another team seemed like they got a little better in the new manager and then kind of fell back off a little. I mean, they've won 3 of 5 with 2 losses in there. So, I mean, they're another inconsistent team that's probably going to be stuck around mid-table or lower, lower mid-table. I don't think they'll get sucked into that relegation fight, but I don't think they'll push for playoffs either. I'd say the same about West Brom. Another team that's struggling, could be due for a manager change soon. 4 losses out of 5. That's not good.
Middlesbrough next as well.
Yeah, Middlesbrough.
Good luck.
So that'll be fun. Then below them, I think once you get below them, and maybe West Brom could get sucked into it. I don't think so, but I think once you get below them, then you talk about the teams that I think are fighting for that in that relegation fight. I think Charlton, they seem like they're going to be able to maybe keep just clear. I think he does a good enough job of get enough points to keep them clear of it. I mean, they did themselves a lot of favors at the beginning of the season, and racked up a handful of points early.
Yeah,
gave themselves a boost, but I think they're obviously they're not running away, but they're also I think they get enough results. They probably stay. They're probably safe. Any argument with that?
I think he'll be mortified he didn't beat Blackburn with all their problems right now.
Yeah,
even though it was away.
Yeah.
I can imagine after that game, the Blackburn manager it was a very good point, whereas I think Nathan Jones would be like, that was a big opportunity missed, considering where the table is and the points.
And they got Sheffield United next, who, like we just said, are a decent enough team. They can put runs together. They should be beating Charlton in this next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would agree. And then right below them, you got Blackburn. who I thought was the worst team we played all year when we played them. They've got Ipswich next, so that's not going to be fun. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're in trouble.
Yeah, can be. They're not. I don't think they're racking off enough wins against top table. Like, that's the one thing Charlton can do a number on a lot of teams. I don't see that same from Blackburn.
Yeah.
So I think they'll struggle.
Yeah. Portsmouth, I think are probably in pretty big trouble. Honestly, if I had to pick my bottom three right now, it's Portsmouth, Oxford, and Sheffield Wednesday. I think Norwich is going to start getting there. I mean, they've kind of been on a decent little run. I mean, think about where they were when he took over. They were miles off, safety. I think what were they, 8 points off safety or something when he took over? So I mean, they're right there now. I think they're going to continue to keep moving up, and I think they'll probably get their way out of it. I would expect them to finish. I could see them finishing 19th, 18th by the time it's all said and done. We'll see what they do in January. I don't know what they can do. I don't know what their spending power is. Generally, I think they do spend a good bit of money. So
I've heard some names linked to Norwich that look like really strong names, and I'm thinking to myself, what on earth are you doing going to that club down in the relegation? I know they're a strong club and what have you. So I suppose in theory you might think of yourself coming in, being the hero, rescuing them, because they don't necessarily need to do a lot to get out. But if you look at the numbers right at the moment, they've got 24 points with 26 played. Portsmouth still have 2 games in hand, and they're above them. Now, it really depends what they do with those. They could lose both of them and it makes no difference. But if they do actually pull points out of that and slide ahead, then you have Blackburn and Charlton both have 1 game ahead of them on Norwich. There could be a bit of a gap there.
Yeah.
And Norwich has who next? Us. So hopefully we give them a nice kicking. They're finding it a lot harder to get out of that bottom 3 than I expected. And they are playing better, but they're not getting enough results. But what did they get? 6, 7 points in the last 5, which is decent, and it's allowing them to climb. I guess anything over a point per match, and you're slowly climbing your way out, generally speaking. But it'll be interesting to see. They're having a real hard time.
I think they'll do a bit. I think defensively they've been pretty shocking, haven't they, this season, Norwich? I think they'll probably want to bring in an attack or two, but I can see them doing a bit of business this January window. And to be fair, I hear what you're saying about why would you go to Norwich. Totally agree. Though I do think the manager, being a bit of a high-profile manager, there will be a pull there, and plus they will pay well. Norwich, they notoriously will pay well because they do have money. So, I think they'll put it this way. I think they'll certainly do some recruitment better than possibly the 3-4 clubs in and around them or above them. But I don't worry. Worry would be a wrong word, but I'm looking at Charlton with a smirk on my face because I think they're in trouble. Because
are you really worried about them, or are you just hoping?
I'm not worried. I'm hoping to see tears of Nathan Jones on the final day. Absolutely. The one thing I would say with Charlton, they've got this horrible thing at the moment. They can't score goals and they can't win games. And unless they do something in the January transfer window, and by all accounts, they're one of the clubs that
don't have money.
They don't have an awful lot of money, and they want Lyndon Dykes, which is like, well, he's not going to score you goals to get you safe. So, I think they likely will survive, but I think Sheffield Wednesday and Oxford are almost 2 definites, and I think then the third one could be one of 3-4 teams, if I'm honest.
Yeah, to me it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams fighting for those 2 bottom spots. I'm giving a pass to Norwich. I think they'll slowly climb. So yeah, that realistically puts 4 teams chasing those bottom 2 to not be in it, basically. And it could be any of them, but I still think Portsmouth will probably end up in it. Maybe Blackburn, but Charlton have a chance.
So this came out while we've been on, I think. Peter O'Rourke reporting Crystal Palace attacker Romain Esse has agreed to a deal to join Coventry on loan until the end of the season. So apparently that's them adding to their squad, adding to their attack, which was already a strong attack. But there were some rumors of some of their players moving away. So yeah, I thought I'd throw that out there because it just popped up in my face.
Esse's a quality.
Yeah, yes.
And that already adds to Mason Clark and Sakamoto and their wide players. So that's very much of a strengthening a very good side already.
Yeah. And then I guess on the list here, if we get this out of the way, Oxford United. Of the teams that aren't Wednesday, I think they're probably in the biggest trouble. I think probably their best chance of getting out was the manager they just sacked. So, I don't know how they get better.
Isn't it really interesting that they decided to do that without an alternative?
Yeah. Well, and they've been linked to who it was. He was at Swansea, wasn't it? Or no, I think Manning's turned him down.
Has he?
I think Manning turned him down. No, it was what's his name from Swansea that got sacked at Swansea.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Alan, is it Alan?
Sheehan? Is it Sheehan? Yeah, I think they've been. I think he's been the name that I've been seeing floating around now. Because I did see a report that Manning had turned him down. So, yeah, I think they're probably looking to next year and thinking, okay, we're going to be in League One, and especially if you're going with Sheehan. I think we're probably going to be in League One next season. Let's restart this thing and see if we can get back up. And it may be one of those things. They may be more comfortable as a team, as a club in League One. You know what I mean? I think the spending in the championship is just so wild. Maybe you're better off, being in League One and playing there, which is kind of sad to say, but I think I think for certain teams, I think it probably is the truth. You know what I mean?
I won't shed a tear because they've got a player that left us when we got relegated because apparently he was too good for League One and he went to Oxford. Oh dear, that's looking good for you now, mate.
Oh shoot! Don't get too lippy. You ain't that far off the relegation zone.
We discussed this on the last show. You missed
it.
Oh shoot!
Remember the last time you got a bit cocky because you were above us, Aaron? You finished 19 points behind us. So
you watch your mouth. I wasn't cocky last season. I picked you guys number 1 from the get-go, sir. And I picked you above us this year too, and apparently I'm going to be wrong. Sometimes I like it when I'm wrong. Okay, and then Sheffield Wednesday, they're going down. I think the real question with them is, will they get out of the negative points before the end of the season? I mean, I know you laugh, but I mean, seriously, I'm not convinced they do. They might, but they're in trouble. So yeah. Okay. So let's get rid of that. And I guess we can talk. Do you have? I guess I'll talk to you guys. I've got a few. Any rumors you're hearing of other championship players that could be moving? I know we talked about Luza. There was definitely some interest in him at Watford, which I think would be a massive loss.
Before we dive into those ones, okay, I have an interesting one here. Now it's from the Prem, right? But I thought it might be interesting for some people to see it if they're not kind of aware of this too much. So this post came out. Can you see it? No, because I haven't put it up yet. There we go. Kieran Maguire posted, Unai Emery has said Harvey Elliott will not play for Aston Villa again as there is a 35 million obligation to buy clause if he makes 10 appearances. Now, this stuff normally happens in the background and they don't tell you about it, and it's very obvious what's happening. That players are benched for no good reason. But just come straight out and said it. He's not worth the 35 million. We're not going to play him 10 matches and pay for him. A bit harsh to admit it.
I get a feeling it's not that they don't want to buy him. I think from a PSR point of view, they can't afford to buy him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because there is a rumour going around that a few clubs are circling because of this on the lad who plays in midfield, Morgan Rogers, and they're talking about 120 million.
Ooh. That's interesting. Let's see here. I'm trying to look at see if there's any other rumors on my X feed before I jump into the other stuff. Oh, did you see Martin O'Neill's back at Celtic? That didn't take long. Oh boy, what a shit show that was. Okay, I'm trying to see. I can't find all my stuff I was looking for. All right, let me just do this. So Louisa, we talked about. Okay, one that I mentioned the other day when we did our show the other day, Damian Downs. He's been linked with a handful of clubs, mostly in Germany. So he could be leaving Southampton. I don't think it's a massive loss because they've barely played him. He just didn't quite kick on for them. Here's one for Southampton. Daniel Peretz, a goalkeeper from Bayern Munich, is heading to Southampton, apparently, or at least strongly linked with them to making a switch there, stiffen them up at goalkeeper. I don't know. Is goalkeeper a massive issue for them? I don't really know. I don't know who their keeper is off the top of my head. Thinking about it. Let's see. Preston, midfielder Thord Arson, been linked with Hannover 96 in Germany. I did see another. I remember seeing a post today. There was. I saw he was possibly on the move here in January. I don't know how much he's actually played for them. I know he's played a little bit. I know Jeff's in the chat. Jeff, what do you know about Thord Arson? He on the move? He out of here? Jeff would know, or he might have heard at least. Let's see, is there any other ones? Yeah, there's another Damian Downs one.
There was a story doing around about, is it Divine that Preston have got on loan? That they've got a option to buy him.
Do they? I haven't seen
it.
It's
a 4.5 million option as part of the loan deal to buy him. But I think it's one of these where it's one of these within the loan agreement. So it's like a really favourable on Preston's part, I think it is, where it's like 4.5 million, but it would be spread over 4 or 5 years or something like that.
That's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all.
I don't know if they've got the money to do it. That's the thing.
Right.
Jeff might be able to confirm in the chat, but I saw that earlier.
Let's see, trying to see if there's anybody else, any big names. Cody Drama, been linked with a few teams in the championship, Preston and Millwall. Has he been injured this season? I don't think he's played a ton for them.
Probably for his toys out, they probably refused to play knowing him, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Bobby Thomas linked with Brentford. That'd be an interesting one. Pierce Charles for Wednesday. All of a sudden I've seen several. This one's showing Rangers, but I saw I think one or two clubs from Germany linked with him. I think, was it Mainz or was it Werder Bremen? Maybe I can't remember. There's a handful.
I think there was a French club as well that I think
was it? Yeah,
to have bid for him today. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen him linked with several clubs. So and obviously, I think for Wednesday, I don't know if it was official yet, but I think Harry Amass. Think it was official that he went back to Man United, or maybe they've announced that he's going to as soon as the deal's up. I know he had a short-term deal with him anyway. I can't remember if it was an official announcement that he was leaving or if it was kind of unofficially known. But it sounds like Harry Amass is going, and he's been linked with several clubs in the Championship. Stoke, I think, is the name I've heard the most. So they'll definitely be in for him.
I think it will be that'll be a mate's deal because, of course, even though he's the current interim manager at Man United, Fletcher is the guy that's in charge of all the loans for the young players going out, and him and Mark Robbins are busy mates.
Okay. All right, here we go. I saw this today. Emil Hansen out. Left you guys. Was that today or is he? What was that?
Today, yeah, we record him from Blackpool on his loan. To be fair, I don't think he's played an awful lot for them, and then we've sold him to somebody in the Dutch football. I don't know even if they're in the Erie division.
Excelsior. Yep. Let's see. End of loan for Law McCabe. He was at Plymouth. Got recalled by Middlesbrough. Not sure what their plan is there. And then Man City. I did touch on this. Max Allen from Watford, center back, or Allen, or however you say it. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. He got recalled to Man City, which I think they're having injury issues. So I don't know. Did you say you thought that one was one that may go back? Is that the one that you were talking about? Was one that?
Yeah, they've got the injury to Guardio. Guardio, I can never say his name. I didn't realise it was as bad as it was, but he fractured his tibia, and they've recalled him to act as a squad cover until they get a replacement. And it sounds like, from what they're all saying, is that they will go in for Mark Gurhey from Palace, which I'm sure will annoy Liverpool. And I think that it's a pretty much. I think I can't remember if it came from Pep or some sources from Man City or something, but it came out. They're recalling him until they can find a long-term player to replace him with, and then he would likely go back on loan.
Yeah. Jeremy Monga, the 16-year-old at Leicester. He's been linked with everybody under the sun, I think. All the big teams in Europe. PSG, Juventus, Dortmund, Madrid, Munich.
When does he turn 17? Because they could, in theory, all get him quite cheap because he's 16, because he'll still be on a scholarship deal at the moment.
Let me see if I can get this to load. Transfer market's been kind of slow at the moment, so.
It'll be interesting to see when he actually turns 17 and can sign a professional contract. Because if he's going to leave, unless he's got some sort of, links and he's a Leicester fan or anything like that, I wonder if he'll do the dirty and run away for little to no money and sign for somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get it to load. My transfer mark is like freezing up on me.
Jeremy Monga, July 10th. So July 10th next year, he'll be 17. Oh, this year. Now we've changed.
Yeah.
Sorry, this year.
Okay. All right. Well, that's most of the rumors I've seen. I don't think there's anything. I can do a quick look real quick on X and see if there's anything else that we want to hit on. See what else Peter O'Rourke has thrown out there. He's usually got some hot stuff. Oops, where'd that go? Dang it. Had one, I thought. QPR. Going to League One, no big deal. Don't worry about that.
There's one for one of our players.
Yeah. Talking about Plymouth coming in for
yes,
or looking back to get him back in.
Well, what I found interesting was the comments underneath. Plymouth are interested in re-signing Wrexham forward Ryan Hardy. Reading also interested. Yeah. So that's not going to happen. He's only joined Wrexham in the summer and is probably on more wages than Reading FC can afford. Love to see Hardy back. Just can't see him returning. Toilet interested in signing shit from bum. I'm interested in dating Margot Robbie.
I tell you, that's the most common reply I see on most transfer posts on X.
More chance of Trump winning the Nobel Peace Prize.
Wouldn't rule that out.
It's time to move on and bring in quality. He's made his bed. And then this one.
I think I called it with Josh actually when it first came out that he could be going in January, and I said I could see him going back to Plymouth because I think that's a deal that would suit all parties almost.
Do you not think someone at the lower end of the champ would come in for him?
I do. I think somebody would. Like we were just talking about, somebody needs somebody to score some goals for him. Charlton, see them coming in for him.
They don't play to his sort of strengths, though. I don't think.
I could see them. I could see about all those teams down there. Portsmouth. Hell, Oxford. I could see them coming in for him.
I'm not sure Oxford could afford him.
Yeah, I could see it. Here's the thing: I could see us sending him out on a loan deal, just to get him, just because we're not gonna. There's just to free up that spot in the 25 if we're not going to use him, and if the talk is they're looking at bringing in more. I think you might as well use that one. Just if you're not, the guy barely makes our bench most weeks. You know what I mean? So there's no reason, at his age, he should be playing. No matter where it's at, he should be playing. So at least get him out on loan until you can sort something permanent. I wouldn't be surprised if a lower end team in the championship picks him up though on a loan. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I could see like a team chasing automatic promotion in League One, pushing the boat out to get him, just to get them over the line. I must admit I haven't looked at the league table in League One for a while, but there's a few teams in there that I could see might go for it.
The problem is for us, he's a brand new contract. Just came in the summer. He's going to be on decent wages. The buyout to get rid of them is going to be a little bit expensive as well. So I could see us just biting the bullet and maybe giving a near free loan just to get him minutes and hope. We got him for free in the summer as well, so we didn't have to pay any transfer for him. So if he can build up his value,
we didn't get him for free.
Yeah,
we paid like 750,000.
700. We got
it was a relegation release. It was a relegation release,
and he was cheaper than usual. Yeah,
cheaper.
But if we can get him to score a few goals for another championship team, that'll help his figure go back up to maybe sell him on. And I'm assuming he doesn't want to go back down to League One.
Yeah.
Unless, as you say, look, if he likes Plymouth and they're coming back up. If he looks at it and says, 6 months,
they're definitely not coming back up.
No. Stevenage has been in and around it. Luton. Interesting. I saw we got linked with, I think it's just one of those deals where they just throw our name into a story, but we got linked with a striker that's not even getting game time for them right now. It's like, we're not. I think I said in the chat, and I posted. That's right. I posted on X too. I said I think we're fishing in a different pond. I don't think we're going down there by the sounds of it.
No, you're bringing back Paul Mullen. Don't worry.
Yeah, we've paid for our big fish license.
That's right.
We're going fishing over in a different pond.
No, I'd be surprised for any of that. Well, Patty, I know we talked about it. Do you want to? Was there any other links to us that you wanted to talk about? There was I know a bunch happened today. There's just it's kind of been a wild day. I think in the last couple of days, I guess we've been linked with quite a few. We're starting to get links. Where me and you were just talking the other day. It was like it's been really quiet. Like we just haven't been linked with very many.
The problem is people are just checking ChatGPT and other versions of that Grok.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it myself
to
have a look and see what it comes up with. So they're all really pure speculation.
Yeah.
You know, oh, this age range, this height, this hair color, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I did it myself, which is how we ended up with the image of me as a wizard. So what that's about, in case anyone doesn't know, is at the Preston game at home, there was a Wrexham player that nobody recognized as he was passing through to go into the building. And based on that, just some height and looks and stuff like that, I put it in. So I put up a recommendation for who it could be. And we'll see if that pulls off. But no, a lot of the rumors are so quiet this season. And that's why I give credence to the idea we're going European for a lot of our players, because it's so much easier to keep that quiet. You know.
So today we were linked with, or I guess it was yesterday, with the, or maybe it was today, the Hammerby right back, Hampus Skoglund.
I saw it,
That one, that's from Peter O'Rourke. That's I would say he's,
that's an interesting one. I like
Peter.
I like that.
Peter's and O'Rourke's Pete's a good guy as far as that stuff goes. He's pretty bang on usually. So I'd say we're definitely probably in for him, and it makes sense because we would be in for the for a right back. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Right wing back.
Are you suggesting that Peter O'Rourke is not quite Alan Nixon there, Aaron? Is that what you're trying to get at?
No, I think I would trust O'Rourke over Nixon. Now I did say that. Now Nixon had his little thing come out the other day that basically said we're in for a striker that, a European striker that's going to cost us around 14 million. I could actually look it up, but to see what he said. But it was along those lines, and a lot of people. I mean, it was very vague. So it's like, what are you even saying? You know what I mean? But at the same time, he did kind of post something similar to this this summer, right before we bought Broadhead. So like a couple weeks before we bought Broadhead, he'd made a similar type post where Wrexham have around 10 million to spend on striker, blah blah blah. A couple weeks later, boom, Broadhead's happening. And so I think I don't think he's perfect, Nixon, by any means. But I think he's not bad either. He actually does hit he does about as good as anybody. So I won't take the piss out of Nixon like everybody else will. I don't mind Nixon.
Yeah, you don't want to get blocked. Yeah. Okay.
No, I ain't gonna get blocked. I don't care.
No,
I pay him $5 or whatever it is. I get his stuff.
I think it's a well-known secret. He gets a lot of his info from agents. That's where his info comes from. I'm not sort of breaking any sort of myth there. It's pretty well known that. So I think, like you said, if you're after something a bit wide, amount of money, or whether you're after a striker or something, that is probably genuine when he says stuff like that. I tend to take the names that he mentions with an absolute pinch of salt.
Yeah, I know there was a few last season he linked us with, like the guy down in was it in Brazil or where was he playing at? Argentina? I can't remember. I can't remember who it was. A midfielder he linked us with. And it was just like he was the only person reporting it, and it was like I have no idea where it's coming from. And we didn't nothing ever came of it. We never But I mean, it was a big talking point over the summer. A lot of people were talking about it. I mean, the people, I'm sure several in the chat will be talking about it. Will know who I'm talking about. It was, can't remember the guy's name, but there was a midfielder that we were linked with, that he linked us with from South America, and it was just like, I don't think there's anything to this at all. You know what I mean? It's like, because it was just out of nowhere. It was so left field. But yeah, Portela. There you go. Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah. I was just scanning a bit of X there, and someone has posted that Derby have reached out to look for Sammy Schmattix.
Yeah, I saw that. I did. Yeah, it's another one I saw today. That's.
Did Eustace manage him while at Blackburn? Did that? I wonder if their paths crossed there.
Probably would have.
Yeah,
I would think.
Yeah, they might have done, in all fairness.
Yeah, I think he did, actually. Because he was there. He was at Blackburn before he. Yeah, he was at Blackburn when he left, I think. When Schmattix made his move, right? No, Schmattix made his move last summer. So yeah, he was still. Yeah, Eustace would have been. Eustace would have been at Blackburn. Yeah, he'd have still been there. Yep.
Yeah.
For at least like the second half, I think, of that season, he had him for like half a season for sure. Yep, for sure. Pedro Lima, I keep the chat's throwing that one up. I keep seeing people mention him. I think he got recalled to Wolves.
He did. Yeah.
Wolves recalled him. I think it is a name we've seen before. I don't remember who linked us to him. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what. How I don't know much about him. So I don't know.
Is that the one that got recalled from the Portuguese?
Yeah,
Division 2.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. I don't even know.
I think they had trouble getting him out on loan, because he was quite late without people linking to him, and then he went out to a Division 2. Like that's not a great loan, and now he's back and hasn't actually played for them very much.
Doesn't say a lot for him if he's not played a lot in Portuguese Division 2.
Yeah. How old is he, Patty? Do you know? I remember the name. I just don't remember. I don't know.
He's a young lad, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. If he's like 18 or something.
Before that, I just double checked Sammy Schmattix. They crossed over for 2 seasons.
Okay.
Or sorry, 1.5 seasons.
1.5. All right.
Yeah.
So you could argue Schmattix might think that Eustace gets the best out of him, because that's probably
it was when he had one of his good runs. Yeah.
Okay, so Lima, you wanted to know his age, was it?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Lima, he is 19.
That's harsh, Sean. Just so you know, that's harsh. Talking about wizards and stuff, and I get called a Gimli. I think that's rude.
Well, you got the beard for it.
I do kind of have, not quite long enough, but not bad.
I can see you wandering around with an axe.
Axes aren't cool enough. I'm a sword guy myself. I'm gonna wander around with a weapon. That's not a gun.
You're not Aragorn. Sorry, you don't have the physique.
I'm a big old one of them two-handed jobs, big jobs. 6 foot long and stuff, 75 pounds or something silly. Oh shoot!
So Pedro Lima here is listed as 8 million market value, and manga. What's his name? Manga.
Jeremy.
The 16-year-old from Leicester is down as 10. I wouldn't mind throwing 12 million at him if we can steal him from Leicester.
You wouldn't need to pay it though, would you? Because he's, like I said, because he's 16.
Well,
goes to a tribunal. So, I mean, you're talking probably less than £1 million.
That wouldn't be bad. With the teams linked to him, I don't think you're going to get anywhere near him. But Bayern Munich and all that.
Okay, so actually, hang on. No, this is me being horrible, right? Is it not then a bad move for Leicester to be putting him in their squad before he's 17 and signed his professional contract?
We did with Jude Bellingham. Like I said, I don't know the lad whether he's a Leicester fan or he's obviously come through their academy. Whether they think there's some sort of loyalty there, maybe. I don't know. I mean, like you said, if he turns 17 in July, you would think maybe Leicester obviously think he'll be there and he'll sign a pro deal, and then maybe he leaves for big money. But as we see a lot, you throw money at young footballers suddenly. I think do you mention like Bayern Munich are interested in him, Aaron? People like that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, all the big, all the big ones.
I mean, if you put yourself in his shoes at 16 years old and you've got like Bayern Munich and all the top elite European clubs interested in you, I mean, that's kind of hard to say no, isn't it? If we're being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. I don't know if you saw this. George Jones says the only axe I want to see Aaron with is that guitar he was rocking to close the last window. That's right, George. That's right. That's what I like. Let's see. Now we got big Gimli chat, the Lord of the Rings chat going on here.
Hard to spell his name.
We've completely gone off the rails here in the chat. They're talking about Gimli.
Do we think Callum Wilson ends up in the Championship, as it looks like West Ham are looking to cut him, cancel his deal in this window?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. What? How old is he? 30? Is he 33? Is that right? Sounds right.
Yeah,
I'm
33.
not sure.
He's 34 next month. Jesus.
Can't stay fit. That's the problem. Wonderful player, just can't stay fit.
He came in under a free transfer for them last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're gonna have to take a massive pay cut.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I don't know. And does he? Would he want to drop? That's the other question. I mean,
he ain't going to get a Premier League move, is he? Because he can't, like I said,
yeah,
can't stay fit. Who's going to get him? I mean, no one in the Premier League is going to pick him up.
Yeah, it really depends if he wants to keep playing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. You could see something like a Southampton maybe chucking a load of money at him or something for a wage, maybe.
Oh, but they're are they gonna chase playoffs? I suppose
they're gonna have to. They've got no choice, have they?
I don't know. Was there anybody else?
Is there any chance they get rid of their manager before the end of the season? Could you imagine if they asked him to demote himself back down to the under 21?
To make yourself back to caretaker, you did a better job. I don't know.
Shoot.
I think Ryan Mason could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
But their owner came out and was like, they back him and, he's long-term, idea and they're not going to change and all that. So I'm not sure.
I'm Kelly, get out of here. Don't you dare say stuff like that. Don't you give him compliments like that, okay?
He's not tall enough.
That's no chance. First of all, he's wearing the wrong colors. So there you go. Tom Bombadil. I don't like that at all. That's not how am I Gimli and he gets to be Tom Bombadil? That's bullshit.
I prefer to be Gimli.
I don't like this chat at all.
Okay, seeing as we're talking about West Ham at the moment, who thinks there's a chance that West Ham absolutely fall apart when they come down to the Championship?
No chance.
No chance. That's what you got. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see it. I feel like they'll come down and storm the division. What are the points right now? How far are they actually?
They look like they're coming down. If I'm being honest,
yeah.
The thing is, they still got Sullivan, who
they're on 14.
Yeah, they still got David Sullivan involved in the ownership side and Karen Brady. And as much as West Ham fans hate them and Birmingham fans don't particularly like them, they know the Championship. They know what to do. And West Ham have been in the Championship before, and it took them a while to get that. They'll throw enough money at it to get them out.
Well, here's an interesting one I just spotted because I'm looking at the league table. West Ham are playing Nottingham Forest next. That's a big one because Notts are above them by 4 points. Right above them, one spot in the table. If West Ham lose that to Notts, that's a gap. That's a serious gap.
Yeah, I mean, Premier League, it's like 4 or 5 points is a chasm because how hard it is to come by points.
Yeah, so many teams are kind of set in their top end, middle, lower end, aren't they? The expectations are pretty flat sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be worth them coming down just to see Millwall versus West Ham, wouldn't it?
If we're still here, I just want to see Wrexham, West Ham. That'd be amazing.
Oh shoot, I don't know. My big one. I was so looking forward to Wrexham Sunderland. I was so disappointed that they that was one I wanted bad.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Just gonna have to wait till we go up.
Is that a documentary thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
I'm going to say because it has to be something like that because there's no other planet you would want.
No, there's no reason. Yeah, there's no like. It's just.
I really enjoyed their documentary.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought it was really good.
I did too. Yeah,
fun watch.
Yeah, I wish we got the kind of inside stuff that they got in that one because some of the shit like that deadline day deal with him paying over his out of his mind for what's his nuts, that was insane.
Will Grigg.
Like, yes, and didn't do nothing. I mean, that was absolutely nuts. You know,
and he was still the League One record transfer till we.
Until you guys blew it away. You blew it up about 6 times last season.
Broke it 4 times in a week, I think. Yeah.
Oh shoot. What was there was something I was going to say something. You threw me off. I can't remember what I was going to read.
They had that Charlie Metham in it, didn't they? Wanting to change the music for the. If we were there. If their documentary, if our documentary was like their documentary, we would have saw all of the whole situation where we screwed up the signing of Luke Armstrong on deadline day a couple seasons ago. We just saw all of that, and we didn't get any of it. We didn't get any of that, but that was an absolute shit show that would have been interesting to see.
The episode where he wanted to fill out the stadium and create a record. And he killed his staff for not selling enough tickets and not doing enough promotion.
And then didn't he just make up the number at the end anyway? Didn't he just fudge the number to make it work? I think he
didn't. No, they missed it. They missed the target.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. No, what he said was he was on the phone to the ticketing agents. Who was supposed to have this done. And he said, I don't need the exact number. I need to have a number that's close. And we can adjust it later. Yeah. But I need a number. And they weren't even telling him. I think they were scared to tell him because they knew it wasn't going to reach what he wanted.
Oh, shit. God damn. That's funny. All right. Well, we've done 2 hours, boys. Anything else you want to talk about? Nothing.
No. Let's do a couple of questions because
okay,
we
yeah,
didn't do much in the chat.
Yep.
I'll pick some of the short ones.
Okay.
Okay, Addison Madison. Bad year to be in the championship. Probably 8 to 10 teams could be competitive in the playoffs. Are they all spending more to keep up with Hollywood AFC? I disagreed with this one. I put a comment in earlier. I think it's a great year to be in the championship because it's so weak. A lot of the parachute teams, like Luton, went straight down. So they're gone with a parachute payment.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 teams that went up came straight back down. So there is no second year payments there either, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually a pretty good year. Next year could be horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's only 4, isn't there, this year? 4 parachute teams.
Yeah.
Sheffield United and the 3
then the
that
3
came
that
down.
came down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've all been so bad. I mean, it's like.
And Sheffield United are on the back end, so they're on their last payment, and they're not going up this year. So they'll be here next year as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've got, it's United, Leicester, and Southampton are all struggling. You know what I mean? They're all.
Yeah, so they'll all be on second. Well, some of them will be on second year payments next year.
Next year, yeah.
Be interesting to see which one of those go over the edge and just like throw money at it this January because everything's gone so bad. I could see Southampton trying because they're probably the best sitting one out of it. Leicester, we all know with the issues, but I could see Southampton dropping some serious dough to suddenly try and change their fortunes around.
And what is interesting about that is if they do, then they're putting down that marker that you better get playoffs. And if that marker goes down and you have your line in the sand, if he doesn't start making improvements and more consistent results, he'll be out the door. What are they going to do? Go on to their third manager? Maybe he might actually be reasonably cheap to get rid of. They might have, because he was there already with the under 21 teams. They might have got a reasonably decent deal out of him and contract terms and stuff like that. So he might not be that costly to get rid of. But third manager, who's going to come in to try and save him? It'll be too late. It'll be too late at that stage.
Yeah,
they won't have time left for someone to come in. At that point, you're going to have to win every single match left.
Hey, real quick, we've got 79 people currently in the chat. We've only got 57 likes. Come on, people, get those likes up. Get out, get in there, hit the like button. It helps us out. It helps the channel get out there and get seen by more eyes. We've actually had quite a few in the chat all night tonight. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. We were up at around 100 at one point, which is pretty good for us.
Because Gimli says so. Come on.
That's right. That's right. Or I'll smash you with my axe.
Okay, there's an interesting one here that maybe we'll talk about for a few minutes and then we will finish up. So from PNE Jeff, out of curiosity, how many players from last year are in your first team this season? So I'm going to assume it's us. And I'm just going to bring up our last couple of matches because it's more interesting for our last couple of matches because we had some injuries. So starting lineup for Derby County. We have a Conco in goal. We have let me show it because that'll be easier. Yep. Share screen. Okay, there you go. So this is the match for Derby. We have a Conco, Cleworth on the right. James, then this formation is all over the place because Fatma fucked it up.
Fatma does not believe the Parky's playing with 3 attackers.
3-1-4-2. Like, where on earth did they get that? Thomason out on the left. Oh, that's not so bad actually. I've seen other ones that are bad. Okay, yeah. James is in. Longman was with us last season. Windass and Sheaf are new. Thomason is new. Smith up front then, and Broadhead is new. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3,
5,
4, 5 in that match. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back another one because we'll have some more on the next one. Blackburn match. Okay, so again, a Conco. Now we have Scar in to start instead of Max, who was on the bench. Longman on the right, Dobson, James, both from last season, and then Ratbone and Smith up front. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that one. And then we had some bench players as well come in. Preston North End. This one we have a Conco Kluert, James Longman, and that's it. So we had our front three of the new guys. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And before that, on the other side with injuries, and that we had Matt McLean as well. He was playing with us for most of the season. Until it looks like now he's out of favour because Thomason started playing on that side. So that's quite a few, and a lot of the backup on the bench. A good chunk of them are still from last season as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do want to touch on before we get out of here.
Okay.
The chat are trying to get Josh to do a watch along for Lord of the Rings and or Star Wars, and I'm dying thinking how this could go. Like, can you imagine? You know, the Eye of Sauron and Josh, danger, danger. Shoot. I would be no good. I would be absolutely no good. But, any other good questions you got marked there, Patty?
I had a couple there, but because we've gone quite long with the topics, we'll leave it till next time. Maybe next time we'll get a longer section of questions.
All right. Well, that sounds good. We've done 2 hours and 12 minutes, guys. Thanks for joining. We've had a no doubt. We've had a whale of a show here. Got a little distracted in the chat. Started talking about Lord of the Rings, but maybe that just means we weren't doing a good enough job on the show, guys.
Transfer window's clearly boring. Lord of
they're over it. Yeah, whatever. Shoot. All right, guys. Well, let's get out of here. Thanks for joining, everybody. If you haven't liked it yet, like on your way out. Get out of here, and then even after that, drop a comment in the regular comments because that helps push it out too. Get as many people seeing the channel as we can right now. We are starting to get a few more views, it seems like, on a lot of our videos, so that's good. So let's push it out while we're getting some views. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and on that bombshell, we'll see you all soon.